We are in a unique position here. I've been doing Zoom interviews all week, and I finally get to talk to somebody in person. So
Yes.
this is exciting. Will Keizer,
Yes.
you have three films in our festival.
I do, and that's
Uh,
your fault.
it is my fault. You know what it is 3 years in a row you've tried to get into the festival and missed the deadline.
Yeah.
So I'm making it up to you.
I'm so bad with like schedules and like looking ahead to see what's going on. And usually what happens is, oh, the Door County Short Film Festival. When is that? Oh, it's next week. Yeah.
And it happens a lot. You're not the only one.
Yeah.
I've been guilty of it myself.
Yeah, you don't remember when your own fest is?
Well, I forget that sometimes too. But like, yeah, getting my own films out there,
Sure.
I'm like, when is that? Yep, next week. You know.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, no, you got them in this year. I watched them, loved all three of them.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And Will and I do have a background. I bump into you at pretty much every festival I go to.
Yeah, you've been at the Waiwiga Film
Yep.
Festival, so we've bumped into each other there. And of course, Wildwood, when Wildwood was at its peak. See you there every year.
Yeah. So we know a lot of the same filmmakers and stuff like that. So I was excited for you to get these films in, and yeah, I loved them a lot. The one that stands out for right off the bat is "Did a Bad Thing."
Yeah.
The music video. Tell me about that one.
Well, that song has kind of a longer history. That song was originally written for Ed Gein the Musical. So when Ed Gein the Musical finally gets a wide distribution, you watch the film. The film opens with that song. But because we were never really sure if Ed Gein the Musical was gonna make it into like wide release, because I did two original songs for that film, I took those and put them on an instrumental album that I was doing because they kind of fit the mood. I was recording, well, over several years I was working on different pieces of music, and then I finally decided, I'm going to take these pieces of music and put them into an album, and it's kind of a creepy kind of electric guitar album's unique and strange. But those two songs, sort of like in terms of mood, fit the album, so I'm going to plop those on there and then release the album. And then I ended up shooting a music video for Did a Bad Thing, and the music video's got Kayla Myers and Kurt Kraus, and it was shot at Creative Edge at their studios. And so yeah, I had help from some of those guys, and yeah, I just wanted to. The last couple of years, I've been kind of focusing on music, and so I thought this song needs a music video, and so.
So I can't ask you. The next question was going to be what was the bad thing you did. So now we all know what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like I said, it was written for the film. It's obviously not anything specific, but if you see the film, the song is playing over Ed Gein committing his first murder. So that's how that goes.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about "Don't Go in the Woods."
Sure.
Because it's kind of a music video, but not. It's more of like a film with. Yeah.
That film was actually, if I remember correctly, so that one came out of a school project. So in 2012, I went back to the University of In 2012, I went back to the University of Wisconsin to finish my film degree. So that came out of a cinematography project. So the professor gave us basically a scenario. We needed to shoot at different times of day, and there were all these little things. We had to use filters, and they had all these like rubric points we had to hit. And so the film was shot for that. And then actually some of the music from the album that I was just talking about, that is in that film.
Okay.
So before the album got finished and released, I just took some of that music and used it as soundtrack for that short. And it was shot at High Cliff
Yeah.
in Sherwood, and yeah.
And for those of us Door Countyans, that was not Eagle Tower. We don't have the corner of having an awesome tower. Those towers are all over Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I like the park out there, and it's very beautiful. And the movie itself is very beautiful.
Yeah. I I don't know if this matters. This is a funny story. I ended up. So we were supposed to shoot on a particular camera, and then when I went into the shop to get those cameras were not there, and I had borrowed a Nikon 750, and so I couldn't get the cameras from school they were supposed to use, so I shot it on this other camera that I just happened to had borrowed, and then somebody tattled on me. It was seriously.
Okay.
He didn't shoot that on the right camera or whatever. And so then I had to explain to the professor why, and then he was like, all right, whatever,
Okay.
But so that was shot on a Nikon, was it the D800 or D750? Might have been the D800.
Okay.
So yeah, it came out very pretty. I like the colors and all of that, and it's got that sort of muted colors, and that was before I really knew much about color grading and stuff like that. So that's how it came out of the camera.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So
yeah, I was wondering about that. I wonder how much color grading happened.
yeah.
Because of how beautiful that hue came.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why you shoot at the magic hour,
Yeah.
to get that look.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah. No, thank you. Even when I was cutting it together, I'm like, this is gorgeous. So I still have on my list. I would love to have a Nikon D800, just because I love the way if you're going to shoot with a DSLR, obviously you could shoot with a Canon, what the D6, what are they called? I can never remember the numbers of anything. But the Canon DSLRs, you can shoot nice looking, video with that.
Yeah.
But the look of the Nikons, I just thought was very, very pretty.
And then the third one.
Stronger Than Yesterday.
Stronger Than Yesterday.
Yeah.
You got two of my favorite people, Dan Davies and Kurt Krause, to box each other.
Yeah.
That was fun, and I love the complete metaphor of what the boxing match was really about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know how that came about?
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was actually a what's the word I'm looking for? That was actually a hired job.
Okay.
So there's Assemblies of God churches in Wisconsin. They they have a state-wide network. They were doing a men's retreat, and they wanted to do a promo to send out to all the churches to let them know and that the men's retreat was coming and to encourage them to come, something cool. So I had done one for them the previous year. It was just real simple, direct to camera with clips of what happens at the men's retreat and all that stuff. So the following year, Jimmy McDonald, Pastor Jimmy McDonald from Green Bay was like, we want to do something more special, something bigger, something cooler. Basically doubled the budget and said, what do you think? And I'm like, and they had the theme was Stronger Than Yesterday, right? That was the theme for their retreat. And so I was like, all right, that's a cool title. And so we came up with this idea of the boxing metaphor, because they wanted it to be very masculine, and very kind of tough and masculine. And so I came back to him with this whole idea. So let's just do a little short film with this sort of metaphorical story, and then we'll have this it'll work like a little short film at the front, and then the rest of the promo will be clips of the retreat and the speaker they were having and all that stuff. So we did that. I think we shot it not last summer, but the summer before. And we shot that in Appleton down by the river near where Tempest Coffee Shop is, and Mr. Brews is down there. So we kind of made like a little makeshift rink.
I thought
There's a little
yeah,
there's a little stage there, and we kind of turned it into a rink. My kids helped me, my girlfriend helped me for the day, and shot it on. What did we shoot it on? We shot. we had 2 cameras. I think we had a GoPro and a Sony FS5 or the FS700. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I thought that turned out pretty nice too.
Yeah, it was fun. I actually watched it again this morning. I was watching like Kurt was getting ready for the next bout.
Yeah.
And I was like, like, did Kurt watch like a Rocky movie to get all psyched up for this? And then you pan over to the Rocky poster.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then like right after that, I was like, this, I said to myself, I was like, you could use this as an inspirational piece. To get, and right away the next thing that popped up was faith in God giving you strength or something. I'm not going to get the wording right, but like, so I'd forgotten that it was actually a religious piece.
Yeah.
So I like that. That's, yeah. Once again, the metaphor of everything is.
Yeah. It's at odds with the world, right? Mm-hmm. Standing up against the world trying to beat you down.
And who's more evil than Dan Davies? I mean,
not many. Yeah.
Okay. So if people wanted to look you up, where are we going to find you?
Well, that is interesting because my online presence right now. So I have a website and it's willkeizer.com, but that is music oriented. I don't have anything up right now that features any of my film work.
Okay.
But it is on my list of things to do.
Okay.
So.
Any social media?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So you can find me. You can look up Will Keizer. You can look up Will Keizer on Google, and most of that stuff will come up. So. All my music is streaming. It's on YouTube. I've got music videos up on YouTube, and I do plan on eventually having a second website that's dedicated. The problem with building a website, sometimes like, do I focus on commercial work? Because I do commercial work, right? So I'm kind of a boutique creative services kind of freelancer. And so, I do projects for clients and stuff like that. So do I focus on that? Where do I put the art stuff, the art film and the film work and stuff like that? So I'm trying to figure out how to organize all that. And I always come to sort of an impasse in my own brain when I think about how to lay stuff out. So, but I've been focusing a lot on music for the last couple of years. So I finally got a music website up and all that. So hopefully more music videos and stuff coming up this year. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's kind of it. I mean, you just gotta, we want to let people know where to find you.
Sure.
And all of those avenues are great. So.
Yeah, I mean, willkeizer.com is probably a great place to go, and then everything's linked from there.
Yeah. Great.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to pitch right away? Anything coming up before we?
Well, did you want to ask me about Dan for the video, or is that?
We can talk about Dan.
No, you're the one who was like, oh, we gotta talk about Dan. Well, I could say that we are in talks with a distributor right now for Ed Gein the Musical, so that might finally see the light of day. We're actually hoping, maybe later this year, early next year, and that could become available. And Dan and I are working on, and I have actually started doing some writing on Ed Gein the Musical 2.
Oh, nice.
Which sounds like craziness.
Uh-huh.
And when we first said it, we kind of said it as a joke.
As some of the best projects in the world have ever
Right.
started in.
So there is this rumor or sort of like urban legend that a year or so before Ed Gein died at the hospital, that he got out, that he like escaped, or basically just kind of walked off the property because he was trusted there, like he did landscaping and
Okay.
right. Everybody says he was a model patient and all this stuff, and the sort of like the story is he just kind of like walked off and was gone for like a day.
Oh no.
So,
What happened at 24 hours.
Yeah, so the basically the theme of the new film will be like, nobody knows what he did that day, but this is what we think he did.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's like Ed Gein the Musical 2, Ed's Big Day Out.
I love it.
So, and yeah, we're talking, it would take place in like 1983, and so there'll be a lot of like 80s style music, maybe 80s parodies. So
Wow, that's fun.
Yeah, we're hoping to maybe make that happen. So
Nice.
otherwise for myself, all sorts of irons in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Little small projects and big projects, all kind of in various stages of development and working. I have been doing more writing lately, so hoping to finish some of that.
Oh, great. Can't wait to see where you go next.
Yeah, and thanks so much for having me and the films in the Film Fest finally. Glad we were able to make it happen finally.
Yeah, me too. Me too.